Hello. Hello, my lovely ladies. How are you? Sorry, I am just updating the words. I am sorry. I am my ability to have a conversation now is probably going to be quite limited because I have not stopped talking all day and I am absolutely exhausted. So if I don't make any sense, you're going to have to put something in the comments to trigger me into starting to make some kind of logical sense. Right. If you're with me live, give me a hashtag live in the comments. I'm a little bit early, I'm 2 minutes early. If you're catching me on replay, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. And I'm just going to ramble on for a couple of minutes till we get some eyes on me. Sorry, weird look at my roots there. So, how are we doing? How's everybody's steps going? There is some huge numbers, huge. So while I see her name pop up, I'm just gonna do a huge congratulations to our very own Claire Manning, who has finally jumped out of a plane. This has been on her list of things to do for a good, I think it's over 12 months now, and she's had it booked and it's been cancelled and booked and been cancelled, and today she finally got to do it. So hugely proud of you, Claire. One of our big things that we work with women is, getting out of comfort zones and doing things that, might have scared you. I am literally never going to jump out of a plane. There's a level of safety. I'm just like, nah, not really sure. And now she's got a taste for doing it. So I expect to see what wild and wonderful thing she's going to do next. So well done, Claire. Yeah, tonight is all about the willpower. Where is it? Le willpower. And if you have ever been on some kind of diet or healthy eating or anything, you'll know that willpower can be a little bit of a letdown at times, shall we say. So let me just make sure. She said, I don't know if you can see that, folks. Claire goes, it was easy. Yeah, whatever. I'm sure it was. As you're free falling. Oh, heebie-jeebies. I'm not very good with heights. No, I'm good with stable heights, so I can go up a monument or I can go in tall buildings or be in a lift. But ladders or anything that's a little bit unstable, not so good with it. Okay, willpower. Right, Sorry, my phone's pinging here. I've got comments pinging here. Right, so willpower. Willpower is a bit of a bitch, quite frankly. So willpower can be like that friend that we all have that always says that she's going to be there or always planning to do things and then bails at the last minute. That's how I like to think of willpower. So unreliable. Willpower is unreliable. And I want you to think about why it's unreliable. So let's kind of just do a little bit of an example, right? So you start off the day, the week, the month, whatever it is, with great intentions. I'm not going to have this. I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to do this. Da, da, da. And we have all these huge, great intentions about eating healthily and moving and drinking all the water and not eating the bread, not eating the cake. Da, da, da. And it's fine for some people, it's fine for a day. Some people, it's fine for a week. Some people, it's fine for 2 weeks. But then normally something called life comes and slaps us about the face, and then we go, oh fuck, and then we just do all the things that we promised not to do. Okay, and then we blame ourselves for not being strong enough. I don't have strong enough willpower. It's all my fault. And in actual fact, it's not really the case, because if you think about all the things that we have to deal with, you have to deal with on a daily basis or a weekly basis, like most people have multiple responsibilities. Most people have a lot to think about. Most people have a lot to do. And when you add in more things onto that list of things to do or responsibilities, the easiest thing to let go is the most recent thing that we've tried to achieve. So if you think about, let's take an example of Jenny. I'm going to use you as an example. Jenny goes into work full of great intentions. She's going to go to the gym after work. She's going to drink all the water today. She's going to do all these steps. She's going to eat in a calorie deficit, and it's all going to be fine. But then she gets into work and realizes 2 of her team members have phoned in sick, and she's got a deadline to meet for tomorrow, which she needs these team members for. She also gets a phone call to say that her little baby's unwell, so she needs to go home, right? There is so much going on there that the last thing her willpower cares about is her drinking the water, not eating the cake, and getting all the things that she needs. Okay? But the thing about willpower is that willpower is a bit like a muscle. Yeah, it's a bit like a bicep. Doesn't look like a bicep. But when we think about willpower, it's not something that's either on or it's off. It's in varying degrees. It's on a sliding scale. So you can train willpower so that over time willpower becomes better. But like a bicep, hi Jenny, like a bicep, if you just focus on bicep curls, overuse is actually going to be damaging as well. Okay, so with a bicep, if you constantly only do bicep curls but you don't do anything to support your triceps, which are the opposing muscle, you're going to get a bicep tear because you're not working everything that needs work. Okay, so ultimately, if you're constantly trying to use willpower, constantly just using willpower to succeed, your willpower ability is going to get injured and not work to optimum. Does that make sense? So, in summary, if you overuse willpower, it will get injured and won't work properly. But you can train, if you train willpower properly, it will work for you in the longer term. Okay? Now, most women overuse willpower because every Monday or every day they get up and they go, right, I'm going to say no to all of these things. And they get into the office and Sandra has bought a big tub of Marks and Spencer's extremely chocolatey mini bites at 90 calories a pop. Don't know why Marks and Spencer's make them, because of their downfall of everybody in the world. They are also delicious. And we get there and we're like, oh, I should have more willpower, but I'll just have one with my coffee, and then I'll just have one after my lunch, and then I'll just have one with my afternoon coffee, and then I'll just have one for the journey home. That's like 400 calories gone in Marks and Spencer's chocolate mini bites. Yeah, you see? So let's talk about how do we strengthen our willpower over time without that overuse. Okay, so one of the things we have to think about is giving ourselves the best chance to succeed. Okay, now if we are, let's talk about a packet of biscuits. Right, you put down a packet of biscuits in front of you. This is my biscuits. It's a cheetah, or I think it's a cheetah. It might be a leopard. You put a packet of biscuits down in front of you, right? If you're a biscuit lover, they're going to be really hard to resist, and you'll go, oh, I'm not going to have one, I'm not going to have one, I'm not going to have one. And ultimately, at some point, you're going to have one. But if those biscuits were out of sight, you wouldn't even think twice. You'd be like, not even thinking about biscuits. Don't care about the biscuits. Because what you choose to focus on becomes the reality. So if you see the biscuits, you can have the biscuits. So the first big tip is make your environment work for you. Get your environment working for you, not against you. So that means that, yeah, you might have to clear the food of some shite food for a short term until we can start working on being able to take or leave things. It might mean asking all your colleagues not to bring in extremely chocolatey mini bites, or having them hidden in another area of the office. So make your environment work for you. If you have a habit of you and your work pals heading down to the baker's and getting a Greg's Oval Bite every lunchtime. Change it, bring in the stuff and make it yourself. You know, make the environment work for you better. The next biggest tip is don't try and do everything at once. So if you're getting up every Monday and you go, right, today's the day, I'm going to drink all the water, I'm going to do all the steps, I'm going to eat 5 portions of fruit and veg, I'm going to get protein at every meal, and I'm going to meet my calorie goal, and I'm going to do some gratitude, and I'm going to do some mindfulness, and I'm going to do some meditation, and I'm going to do I'm going to go for a run, and I'm going to do a weights workout, and I'm going to and I'm not going to eat crisps, I'm not going to eat cake, and I'm not going to drink coffee, and right. So the overwhelm is going to kill you dead. Okay, so you start small and you build habits in sequential order, and when you do it that way, it's almost easy. Because what we want to try and do is eventually get to a point where we don't have to use willpower for anything. We want to use a strong foundation of patterns and habits, so we don't have to use willpower. That's the ultimate goal. Okay. Next up, being prepared, planning ahead, knowing what it is that you're doing, when you're doing it, knowing what your potential willpower fighters are going to be. So if you know that if you are going for a meal out with your hubby and you're going to I don't know, a burger place, and you know that you're in your head going, oh, just have the salad. No, you're not going to have the salad. Don't have the salad. Don't go to a burger place and have the salad unless you're vegetarian and there's no other options. But you would go and you can go, right, okay, like I don't need to have the triple cheeseburger with all the cheese and the bacon and the sauce. I can have a normal cheeseburger and just half the amount of fries or whatever. And I will do what I can to make it a success, rather than going to the burger place going, I'll just have a salad, I'll just have a salad, I'll just have a salad. And then at last minute, you're going to order the big dirty burger anyway. So make as many decisions as possible in advance so that you're not getting to this point of decision fatigue where you cannot make healthy decisions, because that's what happens. We get to a point where our brains are so overwhelmed with things that we cannot make healthy decisions. That's true. Give it a try. This also applies to being prepared for your meals at home, having a meal plan. And before anybody goes, oh, but I don't know what I'm going to fancy in advance. If you want to give yourself the best possible chance of success, be prepared. Start planning your meals in advance. Everybody pretty much has 8 meals that they have on rotation. So just plan it in advance so you know that you're not going to be consumed by the chicken Kievs in the freezer or the takeaway menu. Okay. The same applies to doing your shopping list. Everybody knows from the slimming world, don't go to the supermarket hungry. Yeah, don't go to the supermarket hungry. Do your food shopping online, where it's harder to, just be attracted to whatever's on that ender. It was buy one get one free, but we don't need 45 packets of crisps. We don't need it. Don't be attracted by it. So give yourself the best possible chance of success. Being prepared with your movement as well. Willpower applies to making right decisions, if you think about it. So if you're someone that always says, I'll do a workout after work, and you never do it because you're tired, which is fair enough. I'm absolutely exhausted. There's no freaking way I could do a workout right now. Try and build something into the early part of the day. So it might not be a full hour's workout, but even if you can do like a 20-minute something, it'll change your routine to give yourself the best possible chance of success. So environment and routine play a huge part in trying to actually complement willpower. Okay. Environment, avoiding temptation is huge. Oh, I actually had a wee story to tell you there. I spoke to a lady the other day, might actually have been last month, but she literally couldn't go to the supermarket anymore because she couldn't stop herself from buying crap. And when she bought the crap, she knew it was there and she ate the crap. So there you go. Give yourself the best chance of success. You avoiding temptation for a short amount of time can be really beneficial, especially for things like alcohol, especially for things like for those people that claim sugar addiction. Sugar addiction isn't actually a real thing. But anyway, if you find yourself that you can't stop once you've had something, avoiding temptation is a really good place to start. But it's not a long-term solution. I'm just off the phone to a lady who she's got a challenge with comfort eating, and it's the boredom factor. So she was talking about, yeah, she tries to do things to occupy her mind, which is great for a short term, but we need to get to a place where we don't have to be constantly like fidgeting, knitting, doing things about the house to stop thinking about food. So the avoiding temptation initially is a very good place to start. And that goes back to things like alcohol as well. Distraction techniques are very good for this. So saying, or even giving yourself permission to do things and breaking the cycle, that immediate dopamine hit, breaking that can be a really good place to start. So what I mean by that is, very often, and social media and phones have had a huge part to play in this. We are so used to getting that dopamine fix immediately now. If we want, oh, I'll just go and see what they're doing. I've got 3 messages there. Ah, right, I need to read those 3 messages. I don't need to read those 3 messages. Like, I really, really don't. So instead of trying to get that immediate hit that doesn't actually do anything for you longer term, I can put the phone down and say, right, I'll get to them in 5 minutes. And I'll practice an exercise of patience. And the same can be done for anything. Going, oh, I really, really want that chocolate bar. I really, really want that hobnob. I'm going to do it. I'm going to have it, but I'm going to wait, and I'm going to have it in 5 minutes. And practice and delayed gratification can be a huge tool, because it gives you confidence. It gives you the factor of, you don't need it. You know, nobody needs, in the Western world, nobody really needs food. Like, we've always got access to food pretty much. And unless you've not eaten for 3 days, like, we don't need it. And practicing that, you'll find, if you think back to, what are those monks? I can't remember. But it's the whole cut out everything and only have what you need to survive. I'm not suggesting we all turn into monks, but you don't need the McDonald's, you don't need the biscuits, you don't need the wine. Yes, it's nice to have, enjoy it, but give yourself a chance to get used to waiting for it. It's a skill. It's a skill. Another really good way of finding that willpower is around accountability. And accountability, people get really confused as to what accountability is. And accountability is being held accountable for the things that you said you wanted, or the things that you said you would do. And ultimately, most people really struggle with self-accountability. Most people really do struggle, because we have been so used of the immediacy of everything. So get an accountability partner, get a coach. What I do, I've talked about this before about accountability partners. In my experience, they don't work. Accountability buddies don't work, because they tend to be a friend or a close relationship or a partner or something, and it's really hard to hold somebody you love accountable, especially when it comes to willpower and food and alcohol and whatnot. And say it's your partner just wants you to be happy, ultimately. And if you say, all right, okay, see if you see me with the biscuits, slap them out my hand and tell me I can't have them, or don't let me drink wine. But the minute something happens in life and we use food and alcohol as a crutch sometimes, and we all do, it's fine. But you've had a really shit day at work and you really want a glass of wine, they come to you and say, oh, you said you weren't drinking wine, don't have the wine. You're going to be fuming, and they don't want you to be fuming at them, and they want you to be happy, so they'll just have the wine. So there's the accountability is ruined. And being skilled at holding people accountable is quite hard. That's a coach's job, is that accountability in the right way. You know, it's not about bashing people with sticks. Or is it? No, it's not. Is it? It's not that at all. But there is an element of self accountability as well, and asking yourself the hard questions like, why do I do what I do? Why am I unable to not do what I keep doing? Like, you know, and asking yourself, digging very, very deep can be a good way to do it. You know, what is stopping me from not doing that? Reward, hugely important. So reward, what we always say to our clients is reward is really, really important, but we need to change how we reward ourselves. So a lot of us, when we reward ourselves with food or drink. Oh, I've had a really hard week. I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to have a bottle of wine. I'm going to do bottles of wine. I'm going to have a hangover from hell. Or, oh, yeah, it's been a really rough week. Let's get a takeaway. And we need to look at our reward system away from food. One thing that always used to make me laugh was Slimming World. You'd hear people going to their Slimming World weigh-ins, and in the way home, oh, treat myself to a chippy. I've done really well this week. Like, kind of one of the reasons why it's not really teaching you how to do things the right way. But look at things outside of food. So manicures, books, ebooks, audibles, new clothes, new trainers, new pants, new eyebrows, loads of things. There's 101 different things that you can reward yourself that doesn't involve it going in your mouth. There's a couple of things that I can think of, you know. And set yourself milestones of, it can be so small. It could, like, you might feel embarrassed at how small a goal is, but it could be something as simple as, right, I'm not going to drink this week, right? And for a lot of people, that sounds really easy, but it can be actually quite hard. I'm not going to drink this week. So you're going to get rid of all the alcohol in the house, and you're going to change your route home so you don't drive past the off license, and you're going to give yourself the best possible chance of success by keeping yourself busy, etc., etc. And after a week of no alcohol, you're going to reward yourself with a new pair of trainers, because that trains the mind that if you can do this, you get good things. So yeah, reward is really important. And it's one thing we don't ever do, because women always tell me that they never do anything for themselves. So now is the time. Do something for yourself. If you find, say for example, your willpower for exercise is hard, you find it a struggle to get motivated to go and do exercise, that's where having somebody to do it with can be really empowering. But try not and choose somebody who is an enabler. And this is really easy to do, because we all have an enabler. We all have somebody that we go, let's not do that, or let's do this instead. And it's like your partner in crime normally. And I think we've all got one. Mine lives in Spain, so it makes my life a lot easier for me. And the other one lives in East Kilbride, which is a wee bit away from me, which makes life quite easy for me. But when we do get together, it's utter carnage. But anyway, find somebody that is better at it than you. So somebody that frequently goes to the gym, ask if you can go to the gym with them, because they're not, when you phone them or you message them going, I can't really be bothered, your enabler will go, no, me neither, let's not bother. That person should be like, nope, you're doing it, come on. And you'll be grateful and you'll be glad that you did. And the same goes if you need an accountability buddy. Like, find somebody that is not going to crumble at the first sign of you going, I can't be bothered. That's a good one. So yeah, but eventually willpower is only going to work so far. It's all about creating that foundation where you don't need to rely on willpower. You know, you're the sum of your habits. Build good habits, and habits are formed over time. And they sound really boring. They do sound really boring, don't they? It's not a magic wand. It takes repeated actions, small actions done well over a long period of time, add up to big change. And if you can get those actions nailed and nail them at 80% of the time, then willpower isn't something you should need as much of. All right? Does that make sense? Yeah, need to be accountable more for your own actions. Yeah, we all do need to be hold ourselves more accountable, because it's so easy to say, oh, well, you know, it was raining, so I didn't get my steps in, or, oh, the pandemic came, so yeah, I just ate and drank all the way through it, or, you know, without actually looking inward and going, well, what can I actually control here? So we couldn't control the pandemic in any way whatsoever, but we could control what we did at home. And thinking about, okay, that's a hard question, you know, what can I actually control here? You see? So willpower, eh? It's not just as simple as going, no. No. Okay, so let's see if we've got any questions. I don't think there was. I was keeping an eye on them, didn't have any come through. Right, Rachel and Claire, you're both weirdos for jumping out of planes and enjoying it. Alicia's here, Claire Hopkins, Melanie needs to be accountable for more actions. So have a think, Melanie, about what can you do to hold yourself more accountable. Sarah, change my drink up tonight rather than having a wine while I cook. I just need to stick with it now. Yep. And the thing is, here's another thing about willpower. Expect it to fail you. Expect it to feel really hard and to feel like you've lost the battle at some point. But instead of doing what most people do and going, oh, well, I've fucked it now, I might as well just go and continue down this slippery slope. You just start and try again. It's not starting again, it's just a blip. You know, everybody's like that. Oh, I lost 2 stone and then again a stone, so I feel like I'm starting again. You're not starting again. It's just a journey. There is no start. There is no end. It's just a journey. And we just do the best we can with what we've got. Try and figure out how we can be a little bit better every single day. And we will get there. We'll absolutely get there. And that's why we're here. Like, if you need help on that, that's what we do. That's what we help with. So, yeah. Alrighty. I'm going to go. I'm going to get dinner. I need some food. I'm absolutely exhausted. We're having a very randomly made bolognese. Don't know. I don't know if anybody's got to the point with their one pan dishes that just all manner of nonsense goes in. So there's all manner of nonsense in this bolognese tonight. We've got 6. I think we've got 6 people in them. 6 people in scholarships. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And I've got 2 I'm waiting back on, and I've got 2 more calls. So we'll be able to announce our scholarship winners on Friday, which is quite exciting. And we are, what else have we got going on? There's a load going on in our client area tonight. I'm doing a masterclass in muscle activation. Tomorrow we've got the lovely Helen doing, oh, Helen, I always do this. I can never remember which one it is that you do when. Helen has got Fear in the Monkey Mind. This is a good one. That is a good one. But anyway, that's our client area. Okay, right, my darlings, have a lovely evening. I hope this has helped. I hope this has made sense. If you do have any questions on it, please don't hesitate to ask a question. Ask a question in the comments, because it means that anybody else that got the same question, of which there probably is many, if you think it, somebody else is thinking it, we can get a full and thorough response there so everybody can see. And we're done. All right. Have an amazing, lovely evening in the sunshine if you've got it. Look at this. It's still sunny in Scotland. Oh, yeah, baby. But yeah, have an amazing night, and I'll speak to you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.